Well, it's 7 o'clock.
Yes, it's 7 o'clock. So
It's 7.
to start. So good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's a pleasure to welcome you tonight to the Founders Toastmaster Club. Today's theme is Challenge Yourself, a very interesting theme that speaks to all of us for sure. So I am now giving our President, Eddie Wong, the
Yes. Thank you.
mic.
Thank you, Choi.
Yeah, over to Eddie.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, we are all challenging ourselves, right? We are all calling from different parts of the world, right? We got India, we got Singapore, we got Macau, and we got everybody in Hong Kong. So, you know, of course, due to COVID, everything is a challenge to us. So this is a great theme. I think we all are trying to make the best of it to, you know, whatever we could do, right? To kind of challenge ourselves to adapt to the new normal. So I am going to give it back to Choi and we could kick off the meeting. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's just what we needed, your energy. So thank you. Yeah, so the night is evening is organized as follows. First, we have the prepared speeches. There are 3 speakers, Karuna Karan, Eddie Wong, and distinguished Toastmaster Coen, who will all be introduced more in detail later. Secondly, we'll have a table topic session where members can practice their impromptu speech skills. Everyone is encouraged to participate. Our table topic session will be led by Toastmaster Bharat. Then the third part is that we will have a short break to network with each other, and a group photo will be taken as well. And in the last part, we will have the evaluation session of prepared speeches, the table topic speeches, and the reports of the R-counter, the timers report, the grammarians report, and the general evaluators report. After that, distinguished Toastmaster Coen will introduce the contest that is taking place in the club at the end of November. So every meeting is organized with people appointed as facilitators. So let me introduce these facilitators for tonight. That is distinguished Toastmaster Coen Zhang. He is our Zoom master. Yeah, Coen, maybe you could shortly introduce what that role means.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Typically, the Zoom master, because of COVID and because of the rise of this technology, is the person who controls the meeting for the online participants. For tonight, we have a hybrid meeting, so I'll be the ones to mirror the SAA on the ground, which is Karuna. So things like timers, letting guests in, and muting people and asking people to interact, switching on their mics. So typically that's it. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Coen. Then we have Stella Yip, who's the R-counter of today. Stella, maybe you can explain your role shortly.
I just have to count everybody's speech and then how many times they use out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Very important role. So thank you. And then we have Michael as the grammarian. But Michael.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. Michael, can you shortly introduce what your role is? Yeah, there's a microphone. Good idea.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hi, everybody in the room and online. Hi, hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hello. I'm the grammarian of today's meeting. So my role is pay attention to your speech today. I'm going to take note about some good use of the languages and also some good use of the expression we have used today. So by the end of the meeting, I'm going to report text to you. At the same time, I'm going to share with you the word of the day. So I'm going to have a slide for that.
I can create a slide.
Maybe I can speak to that. So the word of today is transcend. The word transcend is kind of tied to today's theme. Because if you think about it, when we are trying to challenge ourselves, that means we're going to improve day by day. And at the end of the day, we hope we can transcend ourselves of ourselves yesterday, or transcend ourselves 1 month ago, or even transcend ourselves 1 year ago. So the meaning of transcend is to go beyond your ability or your capability. So I really encourage everybody to use the word transcend, which is now showing on the screen. And I also encourage whenever we hear somebody use the word transcend, let's just wave and give our support to that person, use the word of the day. So by the end of the meeting, I'm going to report back to you guys and who and how many times this word has been used. So we encourage everybody to try this word, transcend. Now I will turn it back to the Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Choi, can I jump in? Incidentally, Michael is also our area director, area K5 director. So as a district officer, we would like to welcome him to our club.
And Bernard is our timer of today. Bernard, any explanation of the role?
Hi, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I'm the counter, and I'm going to count the table topic speakers, the formal speeches, and also the evaluations. The table topic speeches are 2 minutes, and 1 minute I'm going to put up the green. Is it visible?
Oh, you have to sit here
Yeah, this is here.
because the camera is there.
Oh, okay, but I think yeah, it's there, but it's too small. It's too small. But maybe I'm going to use my Zoom. Right. So I'm gonna okay. At 1 minute, I'm gonna do green. That is better.
Oh, yeah.
At 1 minute, I'm gonna do green, and at 1.5 minutes, I'm gonna do yellow, and then at 2 minutes, I'm gonna do red, and then there will be a 30-second race. For speeches, there would be 5 to 7 minutes, except for Coen's part, which is 20 minutes. And for evaluation, it would be 3 minutes. And I would again put my green card 1 minute before, and half a minute before, I'm going to put the yellow, and exactly at time I'm going to put the red, and there will be 30 seconds of grace time. For the speeches, since they're 7 minutes, I'm going to put up the green 1 minute before, or 2 minutes before, the yellow the green 2 minutes before, the yellow 1 minute before, and then the red right at the time, and there will be a 30-second grace period.
Thank you very much, Bernard. I think it's my first time that I have someone in real life and in Zoom, so it's a bit
Confusing, right?
freaky.
I was like, who was that? Eddie Wong looks like Bernard.
Bernard is really present. Yeah, and then last but not least, we have Alex
You could change that
Doe,
to a timer. Your
our general
profile.
evaluator, and our guest
Zoom name, change it to timer.
from the Hong Kong Toastmasters and the CST Toastmaster Club. Alex, can you please explain us what your role is tonight?
Thank you, Joy. This is Alex from Hong Kong. And my role tonight is to evaluate after the evaluator, whatever is not evaluated yet, such as the facilitators or the overall of the meeting. So I will have more to talk at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Joy.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Then me, I have something.
Okay, Mr. Barra has something to say. So
Table
Mr.
topic
Barra,
was.
yes.
Yes. So first of all, good evening. We have 2 people taking challenges today. First challenge, Choi, the first time timer. Round of applause, everyone.
Timer. She's the Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, sorry for that. And Stella, the first time counter. Another challenge is Bernard, the first time timer. Now, give everyone yourself a applause. I'm going to give you a challenge today. You go for a meeting. You do anything. Every time you are running, saving time, I'm challenging everyone to prepare for table topics, which I am going to do. Coen, can you share the screen for table topics I just gave to you? Meanwhile, he shares the screen. I will not be reading out the timing rules, what table topics is about. It's all on the sheet he's sharing with you. What I'm going to challenge you is, think of 2 words or 4 words maximum, how you would like to challenge yourself. And send me on private chat, either by WhatsApp or by Zoom chat, so that I can invite you to the table topic session. I will not be asking for volunteers. We want to save time and transit to the next level of perfection in the table topics. So everyone, is it clear? You can see the timing signals. Our timer has already shown what the table topic timing would be. Also, why table topics? What you can learn from that. Everything is on the screen. I will pass the back to my dear Choi, challenging herself.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
very
you
much,
so
Barbara.
much.
Thank you. And it's also the first time of Barbara to be back after absence of a week. So a round of applause for Barbara as well.
Yay!
Yes, then it's time for our first speech from Karuna. And the speech title is Navigating the Labyrinth of HKSAR Funding Schemes and Living to Tell the Story. The content of the speech is that Karuna will look at available funds for entrepreneurs in Hong Kong and share his experience with the paperwork, the red tape, and dead ends, but hopefully with a small gain at the end. Karuna is pathway is persuasive influence, level 1, feedback 2, and Tanvi, can I ask you to give objectives of this speech? Tanvi?
Yes, just a moment. Yeah. Yeah, am I audible? Am I visible? Yeah. So today, Toastmaster Karuna would be sharing his speech with us, which is Navigating the Labyrinth of HKSAR Funding Schemes and Living to Tell the Story. The objective of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the same to a second speech. And the purpose of this particular speech will be for the member to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback from the previous speech. So the time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish Toastmaster Karuna all the very best.
Thank you very much, Tanvi. So yes, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Karuna is an experienced entrepreneur for many years, but he keeps on challenging and transcending himself, and he's always reaching for the stars. Karuna Karan, navigating the labyrinths of HKSAR funding schemes and living to tell the story. Navigating the labyrinths of HKSAR funding schemes and living to tell the story. Karuna Karan. Over to Karuna.
Yay! Okay. Quick question. How many of you are business owners in this group? Raise your hand, stamp your foot, make some noise. Okay, so we got a few business owners. Wonderful. How many of you remember, this is my second time I'm making the same speech. How many of you remember my last speech? Okay, there's 1 hand, 2 hands, 3 hands. Now, do you remember at least one fund from that last speech that I spoke about?
IT fund?
Okay, IT fund. So I got it right. Good. Okay, so now let's get into the topic. So we're going to talk about
the funds which are available for Hong Kong businesses. Now, Hong Kong is a business city. We have one of the lowest corporate rates in the world, which gets us a lot of profits into our hand, and very less regulation, government regulation. So two great attractions to be in Hong Kong. And many of the companies here may know or may not know, the government also provides some subsidies, funding schemes to help us keep running the business, especially when we are small or we're struggling. So there are a few funds. You can just go online and check Hong Kong SAR funds, and you can get a list of funds. There are about 8 to 10 different funds available. Today's speech, I'll talk to you about 3 funds which I have applied, and I've been getting the money on it. So now, when I say these are all government funds, so there is a process, and that we have to follow, that we forms that we have to follow, and sometimes it is tricky, and sometimes it's downright difficult to get the funds. Okay, so now the 3 funds that I've got is, first is called the Sme Marketing Fund. This is the best fund available. It's been there for a long time, and earlier it was $150,000 was available per company, and it is now raised about $600,000 for a company. So now this is a 1:1 matching fund. So you put in $1, you spend $1 for marketing, they'll give you $1 back. Now they have some restrictions on how many, what type of marketing expenses you can claim on. So if you have a doubt, you can call them, and they're pretty good. They immediately answer. You can email to them, and you can answer. So for an example, I went to CES in United States, LA. So they gave me 50% of my flight tickets, hotel fees, and also for the CES exhibition fair. And whatever pamphlets, marketing material that I made, collaterals that I made for the event, they paid me $1:1. And I claimed it after I came back. So they have something like 30 days or 45 days. So you've got to claim it after you come back, send them the receipts, send them the breakdown, and say that this is what we spent. And pretty quickly they give the money back. They send you the money back. Now they have restrictions. The owner of a company cannot, once you start applying it. So, we finished our first $150,000, and then I thought I was smart. We have a second company and applied on the second company. They quickly found out that I'm the same owner, and they rejected it. And there was another time that I applied for a fund for a project in Malaysia, and it turned out that that exhibition was not an approved fund. And the other 2 fund is, this is a very easy fund, which I would suggest all business owners to go ahead and get. The second fund is called Technology Voucher Fund. It's a scheme where they pay, again, 1:3. So you put in a $1, they'll give you $3 money back. This is for technology investments that you do. Again, the amount is about $600,000. They have a limited number of projects that you can apply for. This one, the paperwork is really, really tedious. So unless if you have a serious project that you want to get the funds on, get it. Because they are going to ask you to do it like a government tendering process. So it's really difficult. What takeaway I got from it was that I made my purchasing better when I applied for this fund. The third fund is called the BUD fund. Now this fund has got tons of money on it, and it is run by an organization called the Hong Kong PC, who manages this fund. So $6 million is available on this fund, and there's again a $1-to-dollar fund. You can get funds for projects in Hong Kong, in mainland, and also overseas in ASEAN countries and free trade zone. Again, it's not an easy fund to get. So now, again, you need to have a proper project plan and have a clear vision of what you want to do with this fund, and then apply for this fund. Again, they're going to ask you for 3 inquiries, 3 quotations, and things like that to be done. So it's a difficult fund. Now, in conclusion, what did I gain from these funds? Now, if I look back and see, now one was that it motivated me, the exhibition funds, the marketing fund, motivated me to go to more exhibitions. So, CES is at $200,000. I know that they're going to be paying me $100,000. So it gave me a satisfaction. So it streamlined that, motivation that I got. Second was it streamlined my purchase, like the TVP fund or the BUD fund. It streamlined my purchasing process. Okay. Now, in terms of dollar value, how much did I get return out of getting this fund over and above the 1:1 or $1:3? I still haven't, put my finger on it. Now, I want to leave this meeting with 2 takeaways. For people who are here, one is business owners. Go ahead and get these funds. especially the Export Marketing Fund is an easy fund to get. The other two is difficult unless you have a big project, at least $100,000, $200,000 project size. I would not suggest you to apply for it, because the time consuming, the paperwork is really tedious. Second is if you are consultants, if you're doing service oriented projects to customers, this is interesting. So now you could bundle your service to customers and say, hey, you could pay me $50,000 for this service, but actually if you use this fund, you just need to pay $10,000, the rest, $15,000, the rest, $35,000 the government is going to give you. And I'll apply for this fund and give you, for that you need to learn this paperwork business and help them apply for the fund so that, they get, they just pay you $10,000 and you get $40,000 and you give them $40,000 worth of service. So this is the 2 points that I want business owners, consultants, because few of our members are consultants, who provide services. You could take away from this. There is paperwork and I'm available here. I've been through this process. So, it's really like government process. So, it really can get cumbersome. So if you have any doubts, you ping me, I'm here to help you. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Karuna. So living proof that it is possible. So over to the second speech of Eddie Wong. His title of the speech is Believe in Others. The content is leadership style is something we all discover as we are put into that position. Having faith in others are all part of leadership. Trust can often provide us surprising results, and in return, we learn more about ourselves and our own leadership style. This pathway is Persuasive Influence, Level 2, Project 1, Understanding Your Leadership Style. His evaluator, Michael. Michael, can you tell us a bit about the objective of Eddie's speech?
Sure. The objective of Eddie's speech is to deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech at a club meeting to share some aspects of his leadership style or leadership style in general. Thank you.
So for the feedback, yeah, 1 minute.
And a Coen said no need.
Yes, the timing is 5 to 7 minutes for the speech. Eddie is a certified compliance professional by day and by night a real estate investor. So he's the president of our club, which role he took to challenge and transcend himself. And he is already a true leader as he's leading by example. So Eddie Wong, Believe in Others. Believe in Others by Eddie Wong. Over to Eddie.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you guys can hear me great, right? So great, thank you. So as part of the themes today, right, is to challenge yourself. So I need to find a motivation to challenge myself to talk about leadership. Leadership is something I'm passionate about, but I am reluctant to talk about it. So I need to step out of my comfort zone and talk about it. So let's get to a story that, is true to myself. So one of my colleagues came to me at work and he decided to talk to me about his career and he wanted to change his career path. He's a great salesman, right? He brings a lot of business to the company. He's very good with customers. He brings a lot of revenue to the company. And he wants to change his position into something else in product development. And in our company, we don't have a position available for him to actually join as a product developer. So my dilemma is, should I embrace his career change or discourage him and continue in what he's doing well at? And in turn, he might leave the company and be unhappy. So I decided to embrace his challenge and improve on his career and learn something else as a product developer. So I started the process by working with him to start looking at books. I bought him books on product development so he could learn more skill set to understand how products are developed within the company. I also set up month-to-month meeting with him to talk about these new challenges, right? These new learnings that he's learning from books. At the very last part, I also set him up with management team that have knowledge in this area and have him sit down with him and have these conversations on a month-to-month basis. Sort of set up a mentoring process. So in this whole entire process, in that 18 months, he became one of the best performers because of this new skill set. He learned something new about product development, and he actually tells this to his customer. His customer love his in-depth knowledge. And actually, we achieved more goals. You know, we went through the process and he achieved more than he ever did in the past year because of this whole entire process. So because of this mentoring process, right? The management of those teams didn't have a position open in the beginning, but after a while, a position opened up. So he transferred into those departments and he was happily enjoying that position after this learning process. So like the theme of my speech today is trust in others, right? Not to be afraid in others presenting what they want and not embracing it, right? And worry about myself and my performance of my team. So I want to basically let everybody know to embrace these change, work with others, and show them that these changes are always good. So one of the questionnaire that Toastmaster made for this particular project is to basically go through a questionnaire and understand my leadership style. So my leadership style came up to be democratic, coaching, and altruistic. So based on this, it fits to my personality. I like to help people. I like to be democratic, and I want a group cohesion so that we could all work towards the same goal. You know, joining this Founders Toastmaster is helping me do that. It's helping me take on the challenge, take on the leadership role. I never done Toastmaster before. Take on this role and trust in others. So one thing I want to ask everybody, does anybody know who's Reed Hastings? Does anybody know who that is? Ah, Coen knows. Coen knows who Reed Hastings is. So he is the founder of Netflix. He has a $3 billion net worth, right? So this guy came from a background of softwares, right? He sells software. He sold that company, went public, and started Netflix. Now he has over 2 million subscribers for his business. So his leadership style, he takes pride in not making decision. He doesn't want to make the decision day to day. What he wants to do is he wants to let others make decision for him. So if somebody like Reed Hastings could build a business of over 200 million subscribers without making decisions and trusting in others, I think we all could actually learn from that, including myself. So I am here to kind of trust everybody within Founders Toastmaster, and hopefully we could all accomplish our goals as we go. So thank you so much, Choi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eddie, for your speech. It's now time for our third speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Coen Zheng. His speech title is Craft Your Winning Speech. Ever thought of how champions write their speeches? What are the elements in a winning speech? Will your audience remember this speech for ages to come? How will your speech inspire your audience and change their lives? Come join our very own speech crafting master and coach and learn the secrets of crafting your winning speech. Distinguished Toastmasters Pathway is Presentation Mastery Level 4. question and answer session. And I invite his evaluator of today, Tiraj, to explain us or tell us what the objectives are. Over.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. I am really elated today to share the project details of distinguished Toastmaster Coen. He shall be having a question and answer session based project today. And the purpose of this project is for the member to learn and practice facilitating a Q&A session. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. The speech length is 15 to 20 minutes. The speaker is going to deliver a well-organized informational speech about any topic, followed by a well-facilitated Q&A session. I am eagerly awaiting to transcend through this session today. Hope you all are excited too. Over to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Tiraj. So Coen will do a 15-minute speech followed by a Q&A session of 5 minutes. So you can already form questions in your mind to use the time as efficient as possible. Distinguished Toastmaster Coen is Sergeant of Arms of our club. He's a very experienced Toastmaster of 15 years, and he has in this time been helping to form and build clubs all over, mentoring, and he's also a teacher and inventor, a true example of someone who keeps on growing and learning. Distinguished Toastmaster Coen Zhang, craft your winning speech. Craft your winning speech, Coen Zhang. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you, Choi, Toastmaster of the day. Can you all see my slide?
Yes.
Thank you very much. It is contest season, and therefore, I want to do a project for you to help you craft your winning speech. Now, to win a contest, there are lots of moving parts. And in this project, I'm going to show you that, in fact, the first thing you can think about is about the idea, about the structure, and about crafting your speech. This speech, what it is not about is the body language, the delivery. Okay, we can do a separate training session on that. So let's get started. Okay, this is me. Choi has introduced me. Thank you very much. I can share the slides later. Now, as we know, when you are in school, your teacher will tell you in the English lesson, whenever you write your essay, you should have an opening, body, and conclusion. This is also true for your speeches when you craft them, right? But for us Toastmasters, we need to think about how we can better write this opening, body, and conclusion. Now, one of the things that I would like to impress upon all of you tonight is, instead of writing the opening first and the body and then conclusion, think about what is the message of your speech. What is the message of your speech? What do you want your audience to take away at the end of your speech? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to take an action? Do you want them to ponder over your message? Do you want to make them happy? Do you want them to feel sad? All right. So these are some of the things that you can think about in the crafting. Now, this topic, this workshop is really about to open your mind a little bit. Now, we are all a little bit experienced in giving speeches. So I want to ask you probing questions about what you can put inside each of these. So let's start with the opening. Now, we always know or want to write attention-grabbing opening. So think about how you can open. Do you want to share a story? Do you want to tell a joke? Do you want to ask a question? Or do you want to be silent and act out a scene? Now, there are multiple ways of doing so. Now, in fact, the last point, even silence can capture the attention. The body, how should you progress your story? How many stories are there? Who are the characters inside the story? How do they relate to each other? And of course, through their relationship, how do they deliver your message? Now, I left it blank because there are many ways to conclude. But one of the ways is really to ask questions. Instead of you talking and delivering all your message, how about asking questions to your audience? Let them think, give them some time and space to think about, to let your message sink in. All right. Now, this is the body. There are many, many structures that you can find on the internet. Now, one of the best structure that I find is from the World Champion of Public Speaking in 2013, Press Vasilev. You can easily find his stuff. Now, he used the goals method of storytelling. The goal is, starting with G, is your message, right? Now, you notice that the champions, they pepper their speech with their message throughout their speeches, not just at the start and at the end, but throughout their speech. This is to remind the listeners, the audience to to drum it in unconsciously. All right. Now, this is very powerful. It is almost like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Okay. Now, in this story, usually the winners will craft some obstacles. What are some of the problems faced internally, emotionally, or externally, right? Like the world champion that I'm going to share later, he went to jail. He was I suppose he didn't go to jail, but he was arrested. Okay, so you have a low. Now, through this setback, what are the adventures that this presenter, this speaker faced? This is where the stories, one story, two stories, that comes in. Okay, and you can introduce characters in your adventures. And finally, as you lead towards the conclusion, you draw lessons from each of these stories that you share through your adventures, how they overcome the obstacles. What lessons did you learn? Or what lessons, more importantly, can your audience learn? And finally, was there a happy ending? What kind of success did you achieve at the end of your speech? Now, there's another one, Ryan Avery, World Champion of Public Speaking, 2012. He just simply tell us, no, okay? What kind of knowledge can you impart to your audience? Feel. What kind of emotional language can you deliver to the message? How can you make them feel? And what kind of actions can you take? All right. Now, Jim Key, the world champion of public speaking, impressed me long time ago. He was the world champion in 2003. Now, he says something like this, and I think I changed it a little bit, okay, about the emotions and the feeling part, okay? It goes like this. If you can make your audience smile, they will remember you. But if you can make them cry, they will never forget you. Now, there's a huge difference. I want all of you, the audience here, to tonight think about this phrase that I just coined. How can you make the audience feel? Okay? So, okay, does your speech open with a bang? We cover that. Who is the protagonist? Who are the roles? Who are the people and the characters in your speech? Okay, so some crafting ideas. Who are the other characters? Are they also playing a supporting character? Or are they other characters, minor characters, major characters? Who are the people? Who is the evil person? And who is the angel in your story? So again, what is your message at the end? Okay. Now, speech anchor is something in which you constantly repeat. Okay, constantly repeat. Like, for example, the world champion of public speaking 2014, Devon Jr., he kept saying, right? I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. All right. And he said this 3 to 4 times in his speech. It is an anchor because you want to pull the audience back to this anchor so that they can ponder the message you want to deliver. Okay. And ideas. Do you plant ideas? Right? Do you plant ideas? For example, what are some of the obstacles you face in your life? Is it because you were poor when you were young? And when you reach adulthood, you got fired. Why? right? And after that, you fail in your marriage, and so on and so forth. You would like to plant ideas that through these failures, who are the people you met that later will bring you back to success? So plant idea. Now, the best movie to help you anchor this is the movie Inception. Now, those of you who has watched the movie, all right, you plant ideas deep into the minds of your audience. And hence, this is one very strong NLP method so that your audience can remember your speech and in fact, remember who you are. Okay? So do you make your audience laugh? Do you make them cry? Right? And this is what I call the energy level. How do you control the energy level of your speech? Okay? Using the ghost method, for example, you can start with a bang, right? You start at very high energy. Wow, something happened. All right? A very sad story or a very happy story. Then you start to talk about the obstacles. What are the obstacles? What are the hindrances? What are the calamities that faced this person's, the speaker or the main character? Okay, what kind of adventures? This is the down part and the up part, right? What kind of adventures did this person experience? And through this, all this experience, okay, what kind of lessons did he learn? And finally, how did he apply his own lesson to achieve success? Okay, so this is one method which I love very much. Okay, now a lot of people, when you try, especially newbies, you want to craft a speech that is like 1,000 words. Now you only have 5 to 7 minutes. Think about it. If you have 1,000 words, or maybe 1,005, you need to speak like 1,105 divided by 7. How much is that? 150 words per minute. Can you speak 150 words per minute? Think about it. Now, I would like you to use the energy. If the energy level is low, you can start to slow down your speaking rate. You want to put on your deep voice. You want to look at the audience without speaking. You want to let them sink in, the message sink in. You want to let them feel the anger of the character that you are describing. Okay? You need to put in pauses, a very, very powerful technique in speaking. Okay, so how many words? And also, if you are determined to win in a contest, some people just write a speech and go for contest. But if you are determined, right, just like the District 80 champion, who is from my club, he went to multiple clubs. He would have practiced at least 50 times with different clubs around the world so that these people can give them feedback. Okay, members from all around the world to give him direct feedback on how he can improve his speech. Now, this is what I call dedication. If you want, even if you think or you feel you are a very good speaker, but different people can always give you very good suggestions. So if you're interested to really improve and excel in public speaking, I strongly suggest you, especially now with Zoom, to go to as many clubs as possible to deliver your speech. Okay, now we will not watch this, but the link is here. I can share my file. I want to show you, this is the world champion of public speaking. Sorry. We have to skip the ad. Okay. Okay. So you can watch this, see how he performs, what kind of jokes that he presented, what kind of props using just a flower. How can he use the prop to the best of his abilities? Okay. If you can see, there's also a trash can. Okay. The smile on his face. Now, because of the interest of time, we do not have time to go through this. You can watch it. Okay. He is my favorite, and I think one of the best speech that I have ever heard. Okay. Now, this is a crafting workshop. What I have done is also, I will share this with you. I have spent time to break down his speech. Okay. I spent some time to break down his speech. Okay. His entire speech. And for here, I included like very short pauses. What kind of prop did he use? Did he use a metaphor? Did he tie? How many ideas did he deliver? how many times he repeated his ideas. Okay, so this is a very valuable. If those of you who want to write contest speeches, I suggest you can do this as well. Okay, so all this is available to you at the end of my project. Okay, and with that, I have finished my speech, and I have finished a little bit earlier, so we have more time for the question and answer. Okay, I will stop share and available for question and answer. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Coen, thank you so much for this wonderful tips. One thing which I struggle with always is the title. Do share some thoughts on how we can create a title which will do justice to our speech.
Right. Thank you, Bharat, for the question. Title. Now, just like the opening, you want an attention-grabbing title. Okay. However, there was one speech that was, when you read out the speech title, it was almost 1 minute. And this happened in 2019 to the second place of the world champion of public speaking. The next year, he became the champion. Okay, I forgot his name, but 2019 world champion. Not the world champion, the first runner up. Okay, so does the title really matter? Yes, it does matter, because in the end, you know, it's not memorable. You want a memorable, like I see something in you, for example. Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Coen.
That
yes,
was Aaron Beverly.
Aaron Beverly, that's right, Aaron Beverly.
So I'm still amused. You know, I have done a lot of speeches under your observation, knock knock, and titles like that.
I like that.
Yeah, but I still need some more insight into the title. What he did was quite for us to create a title. What facts, other than ensuring that everyone would remember the speech? Because we write the message first, we write the title first. I've been trying to struggle with my contest speech which is coming. I'm challenging myself and I need your help there.
Thank you. It's always good to challenge yourself, the theme of tonight. Yes, in 2014 World Champion, what I see something is an anchor. Okay, if you go and look at my document, it is an anchor. It is an inception. He repeated it 4 times in his speech. All right, but his message is not about I see something. His message, if you think about it, is an ordinary person. When you have the right mentor, you can become extraordinary. That is his message. It is not I see something, but it is an anchor for you to see. Because when the mentor say, I see something in you, he brought the audience back. This person, the first person who said it, you would think about that first person, first character, second character, and the last character is his wife. All right? So you can think about that, but generally short and memorable. Thank you. Can we pass the time to Eddie, please?
Yes. So I'm a newbie, right? What is a topic that, you know, a newbie could use in a speech contest, right? You know, I've done a few speeches already, but I don't think any of them is good enough for a contest, right? Because I don't think they're personal enough. So I think my point is, I think I want to bring something personal to it, but how do you choose it, right? You know, how do you guys, as a, you know, seasoned Toastmaster, choose your topic in a contest?
Thank you, Eddie, for this question. Now, this is a very common question for newbies or younger Toastmaster. The common response is that, you know, pick something personal. Okay, for example, you just went back to Macau. You can describe the difference in the way of life in Macau now versus Hong Kong, because you spent some time in Hong Kong. Your son, you talk about your son, right? He started to speak. Can you create a speech out of that event? Yes, you can, right? I gave a speech before about my baby, my first time baby, when she was young, 3 years ago. I did that. Alex delivered her speech about her contest in race walking. Everything that happened to you, okay, you can use. And one of the things that champions use, if you listen to Ryan Avery as well, he keeps a note, okay, in this case, our phone. Everything that happened, okay, funny or not, okay, he will just note it down. Because when it comes to contest time, you will have the material to write.
Coen, Karuna here.
Yes, Karuna.
Okay. Question is, do you actually write your speeches before you present it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
1,000 words is a speech. So you actually write it down.
Yes. Okay. So for my case, for most not contest speech, some people can just remember the 3 points that they want to deliver, and they can just step out and deliver. Some people can do that. However, as I understand from most of the champions, at least district champions and above, all of them write their speech. Why? Because you have to plan, just like my document, you can see later, that you have to plan certain actions. You have to even anchor yourself. For example, you need to think about your stage. At which point in your speech do you need to move? At which point do you need to take out the prop? At which point do you laugh or smile at the audience? Everything has to be planned. So for me, I will write my speech, okay, with including the word count, deliver it, and then slowly I will add in all these anchors, these action props, it will come in, so that when I deliver my speech over and over again, I get used to it and I can remember that.
So a speech contest is 5 to 7 minutes.
A speech contest is 5 to 7 minutes.
And typically, how many number of words, word count is required?
For me, I try to write 700 words. So about 700 to 800 words is my speaking speed. So you have to know your own speaking speed.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And one more question.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a club contest and then maybe a district contest. Can we use the same speeds in all the contests?
Yes, you can. Until if you reach the semi-finals, that will be the last time you can use the same speech, because once you reach the finals, wait, hang on. Oh, I think the semi-finals, you got to change your speech again. Okay, so up to district, region, okay, you may win based on your district speech. And then semi-finals, you got to change your speech. And then finals is a different speech. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you only need 2 speeches, which is up to semi-finals. And then, but finals for sure, you need to deliver a second speech, a different speech that you have never used before.
Okay, so you're looking at club, then district, region.
No, club, area, division, district.
Okay, so that's 4 speeches there.
No. Up to district, you can use 1 speech.
No, but then there are four contestants.
Yes, you can use the same speech.
4
You
times.
can, of course, tweak it.
Okay.
Yes, I think I'm gone over time. Like 21 minutes is my timer.
We got a question from Alex. Can we get it quick? Because I think there's some value in she asking.
Oh,
something.
yes, definitely.
Thank you, Eddie. You got good eyes.
Sorry.
My question is, like you mentioned message and story. So as someone who's going to write the speech, should it be message first and story, or story first and then try to embed whatever message can come, try to embed in the story? Any suggestion?
Now, as a teacher, how I teach my kids is when you write an essay, okay, I suggest you write the conclusion first. Okay, that's how I teach, all right? When you write an essay, write the conclusion first. Because with clarity of what you want to say, the stories can come easily. Rather than you write the story and then, what should I tell people? Like, I don't find my story amazing. Think about the message first and then write the story.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Coen. If there are no further questions, then thank you very much for your. So for all the speakers, I encourage everyone to write words of encouragement the people in the online can do it in the chat box, and for people here, there's some paper here and pen, so you can write words and then pass it to the speaker. And yeah, I want to ask Bernard to give me the attendance report of each speaker.
Yes.
Karuna?
1 minute. You can just sit there.
I can share, or you want me to share it, or I just say it?
Yes,
You can
please
just say
say
it, but
it.
I'm gonna.
Okay, for Karuna, it is 7 minutes and 1 second on time. And Eddie Wong is 6 minutes and 6 seconds within time. And Coen, I didn't time the Q&As, but the speech is actually 13 minutes, 23 seconds.
Hey.
Okay, thank you very much, Bernard. So then we're going to the table topics. Please follow. Oh no, sorry, it's without volunteers. So each speaker has 2 minutes. After 1 minute, the green light. After 1.5 minutes, yellow light, and 2 minutes is red. So at the bottom will be at 2.5 minutes. The evaluator will be Sanaya, and Bharat. The toast will be the table topics Toastmaster. Bharat is our VP. He's a social animal who's continuing himself only more now. He'll be turning 60 next week. And his pathway is motivational strategizing level 1 project 2. Over to you, Bharat.
Thank you. Thank you. Seems I have been challenging everyone and nobody is accepting the challenge.
I can go if you have a topic for me.
No, I don't have a topic for you.
Oh, okay. Challenge myself, right?
Yes, you have to send me a message with few words challenge. What is your challenge? How would you like to challenge yourself? Please send me by chat.
Can I just say, like, since?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So as Bharat has kept pushing me, I am social media shy. But in today's world, we can't run away from social media. So the challenge to myself is probably within the next year or so, in the meaning of now, a year from now. Within this year, I would like to learn as much social media from Bharat and many other people around the world.
Okay. So first rule of social media is, you have taught me this, Coen, less is more. Be effective. I asked you 4 words. Give me 4 words on challenging yourself. And I will come back to you with a speech. I have already shared the PowerPoint with you. So today's challenge. Okay. I need to stand here.
It's a challenge.
That's your challenge. Yeah, that's your challenge. You have to be there.
And everyone knows I went through a 10 days challenge when I was without a phone. I was not speaking. My lips were sealed. And this was very recently. I did a speech on this also. So today I am challenging you all to find 4 words to challenge.
4 words. Okay.
Something like social media side is what Coen is. Coen, don't worry. I will give you a bigger challenge than this. On social media, I've already created a challenge for you with you in mind. I thought I have a PowerPoint here where we can choose and pick numbers. I'm going to give it away. I don't want to use it now because I find this so interesting today. Coen has just said he would like to challenge him on social media. Coen, you have 2 minutes. Your challenge is monetize your social media. Think of a story, take us there so that we can accept the challenge and monetize the social media of Founders Toastmasters. Over to you.
Eddie.
Let me put it in speech style. Coen saying, monetize social media. Monetize social media, Coen Zeng.
Today we have Eddie Wong, a well-known investor in real estate. And today, welcome to our channel. welcome to our channel where you can learn real life skills in investing, real estate, stocks, and life lessons from my channel. Tonight's guest is Eddie Wong, real estate investor. Eddie, tell me, while you are still holding a job, how do you invest when we don't have the time to look at our investments?
You don't go to sleep. You wake up after the kids go to sleep and you do the work that you need to do.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, all of us has a lot to learn from the internet. And I have an idea. This idea is to create a channel where I can let my listeners learn about investing, stocks, finance, real estate, but more importantly, as Warren Buffett said, the best investment that you can ever make in your life is invest in yourself. And through Toastmasters as this platform, where through our members, all members and people with lots of business experience and also life experience, I'm sure we can use this platform and learn from each other so that we can deliver these useful lessons for all our members and of course guests and Toastmasters from other parts of the world, so that we can build our brand, my personal brand, but alongside with the club's brand, Founders Toastmasters. I believe that with this right step, okay, we will make our club self-sufficient with enough funds coming in, and also organize events and more events for our international audience around the world. That is the goal I hope to achieve with Bharat, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Coen. Thank you so much. Taking the challenge. You still have to do a lot of thinking to monetize our social media, but I will give you some tips for that later on as we move on. Anyone else has a challenge in mind? Coen, could you share my slide again?
We have a few on chat.
We have a few
on chat.
No, can you share my slide?
Okay.
So who's that?
Yeah, these are the chat messages.
Okay.
I cannot share chat messages.
No, I'm sharing here.
Okay.
No, you just the slide. No need the chat messages, I can see that.
Okay.
So who is going next?
Pick a number, is that correct?
Yes, pick one number.
Bharat, some people has already given 4 words in the chat, so we could invite them.
Who is that? Can you read it for me?
I cannot share.
Here, you can read it here.
Love, care, transit, and elate. Toastmaster Kritiraj. And can you show the slide now and let him choose a number from there?
Okay.
Yes, Toastmaster. I would like to choose Q4.
Question 4.
Yeah.
Oh, this question should have been to Eddie, but I will let someone else answer it. Start your business. Toastmaster Kritiraj, start with your business without capital. Start your business without capital. Toastmaster Kritiraj.
Everything is possible to a willing heart. Sir Einstein once said, fellow Toastmasters in here right now, I hope you all have a great capital with you. The capital of time, the capital of energy, the capital of gleeful vibes. And that's how, without any other capital which is required in terms of money, you can actually start your business. Would you all like to know what kind of business can we start with all these things? Yes or no? I can see Toastmaster Bharat doing a thumbs up. What about others? Would you like to start a business without a capital. Toastmaster Eddie is also interested. Let me just share. Business is something where we think about all the problems which are around us. Maybe as of now, I just wanted to have my lunch. It's late, yes, still, because I was in some work. What idea did I come up with? Let me just keep my video off, finish off my lunch. That's how that was a direct solution for that problem. Similarly, business is all about knowing what all problems are around the society and then using the mind. The power of mind is stronger than the power of arms. That's how many big wars were won. How many of you believe this? I see distinguished Toastmaster Coen smiling. Anyone else? Well, I know that business, if you want to start it without a capital, it is all about that burning desire within. Whether we have an idea and whether we have that mindset of implementing it. Fellow people in here, I see you all are ready to transcend beyond the boundaries of space and time with the Toastmasters International. And that's how here leaders are being made in this hybrid meeting. This is a business without a capital. Over to the Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Oh, this is so music to me. I started a business without capital. And you know how I did it? Anyone who went to a baby shower before? So when I started my business, I called for a baby shower. I called all my friends and said, come, I have born this new business. Give me inputs. I don't have money. I need your time. I need your designs. I need your thoughts. I need to do all the research. And this is how my startup, Kyadu, is there. So very well said, challenging yourself. Money is not the object. Passion, it is what drives you to do it. Going further, who's the next one? Karuna, can you read it for me? Kids, Life, Wife and Coen. Our President Eddie, welcome to the stage and choose your question.
Number 8.
Number 8. 8 is so lucky in China. And
monetize.
Oh, you got that one. This was for Coen actually. I don't know how. You choose another one. This has already been.
Okay, number 9.
Number 9. No, not clapping hands is later. We will clap hands later. Yes, number 9 is participate in club contest. You are the president. Challenge everyone to the club contest.
Okay, so I got a question. Do we use the word that we put on the chat in the speech?
Up to you.
Okay.
You must use the word of the day and you must make sure that everyone is in the contest. Relate with your over to you.
I don't know how I can make everybody join the contest. I'm not a dictator, so I can't force everybody to join contests. But participate in the contest, right? I am a new Toastmaster. I think this will probably be the best way to practice my public speaking skill. Think on your feet, craft a speech, and deliver it, right? So I think that's probably the best way for us to participate in a contest. That's why I asked the question, what are some of the good topics for me to actually use? And I typed those on the chat. My kids, our life, traveling from Hong Kong to Macau, being stuck in quarantine, my wife assigning responsibility to me right after I get out. The day I got out, she already got me doing work. So with COVID, it's causing a lot of problem for everybody, right? She's right now probably standing outside listening to this and telling me, you got work to do after you get off the meeting. So I'm sure, we're all facing the same challenge in life, right? But going through this contest might give us a reason for us to kind of practice our skill set in public speaking, right? This will probably give us a good way to kind of learn and utilize the time that we spend with Toastmaster to improve on our public speaking skill. Back to you, Bharat.
Thank you so much. He is in Macau. just left from Hong Kong and faces challenge coming back to Hong Kong. For me, in COVID times, the challenge was the 50 meters from my house to the swimming pool because the clubhouse was closed. So we all face our challenges. And Eddie, I would challenge you again. Think of some stories. You are doing very good on the speech, and we are going to contest on table topics, evaluation, and also on the international speech. Everyone, challenge yourself. Go to YouTube, see videos. What motivates you? Someone just said, our Toastmaster Kritraj said, it is the passion within. We don't need to say that we are 1 year old or 1 month old. Or someone can start tomorrow. Someone can take ages. Time is not in our control. For me, challenge yourself, participate in the contest, send your names, everyone, dare yourself. And the last table topic contestant is our journal evaluator, and her name is Alex, from the 2 very senior clubs, advanced clubs, and we are also wanting to transcend to be an advanced club. With your support, madam, we will surely do that. Choose your topic, and your words are in your frustration. Sorry, you will have to teach me pronunciation for that. Risk and cook.
Number 3.
Yes. Could you choose your number, please?
Number six.
Number 3.
Number 6.
No, number 3 is correct. You got a number 3.
Number 3.
Yes, this is number 3.
So we go to number 3.
Yes, this is number 3.
So Toastmaster Alex, plan employee retention. Plan employee retention, Toastmaster Alex.
May I do a survey among all the participants here tonight? If you are having a company and hire employees in your company, please raise up your hand. I see one couple of hands up. Good, good. So we do have a number of participants here maybe going to face employee retention issues. May I ask Joy, did you handle employee retention issue before in your company?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your answer. No matter what was the outcome of the matter you handle with the employee, it's never easy because employee retention actually is about one word: relationship. It's about the relationship, how good you as employer or the boss with your employee. If the relationship is good enough, even though she is not or he is not having the market rate but they would still like to stay with you because the connection between you and them is way more than money, because money can buy many things, but money cannot buy everything. So if you are trying to plan ahead for how to improve your employee retention, one thing you have to consider is how to build a very outstanding relationship with your employees. If you haven't thought about it, time to explore. Back to you, Bharat.
Thank you so much. Relationships. Are we doing enough to build our relationships, everyone? Yes, in Founder Toastmasters, we are just doing that. So before we finish this table topic session today, I would ask everyone to speak with me that you will challenge yourself to take the roles well in advance and compete and participate in the club contest. All of you agree with me? Say
Yes.
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 I want to see more sound.
Yes.
I want everyone to not shy like for the table topics. I could not see the volunteers till I have to remind 3 times. For this, we don't want to remind you. Please send private message to me on WhatsApp, on chat, who is going to participate in the contest and who is going to take the roles in the next meeting. Challenging ourselves as the Vice President Education, I want to make sure that these clubs get all the points for the DCP on the education. This is my challenge to myself, and I need support from everyone because I am building my relation with you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Bernard, for this wonderful table topic session. Bernard, can you give us a timers report of each speaker? You have Coen.
Yes, Coen done 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And
Kitiraj.
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Eddie.
Eddie is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
And Alex.
Alex is 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
Thank you very much, Bernard. So then we have a group photo. Distinguished Toastmaster Coen.
I've taken, so it's okay.
Okay. Now, then we can party now for 5 minutes.
Yay!
Back at 8:21.
Some snacks there.
I've taken, yeah. Alex, were you there for Ryan Avery the other day? On a Saturday morning.
Which one?
He came for training for the CSC clubs.
No, I'm just
CSC clubs.
Oh, yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
Ryan Ravery, right?
Yeah, Ryan Avery. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3 C's and 4. I can't remember. 3 something.
player, wireless mic, wireless mic.
So.
Supply in 2 classes.
Are you start coaching or doing some teaching and speech craft or speech preparation? Because you got a very great presentation on that workshop.
Everything. Yeah.
I know, it's just that I don't do advertisement. It's like I give this workshop. If people are interested, people talk to me. That's it. I don't advertise.
Lot smoother than last time.
Oh yeah.
I'll be happy to work with people. Because other than speech crafting, the positioning or what I call stage presence is what I'm very good at.
And the mic is also
presence. Like everyone just stands like vertically, right? But how do you show your stage presence? That's very important.
Yeah. And then from the mixer it comes here.
Yeah. Well, given now is all online contest, are you working on both, like on the Zoom, on this little cubicle?
Yeah, right now we can only do on Zoom. But this year the district is back to physical. So yeah, so it's different, totally different, completely different. So yeah, which is a bit more, especially for newer contestants, they will find it a little bit more intimidating. Because when you haven't stood in front of 100 people, 500 people, it's very different. It's very, very different. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to reach out for some advice after some
Sure,
time.
yeah, no problem. Eddie as well. Eddie is my mentee. So come talk to me. Your speech craft. Your main thing is you need to drop the right.
Yes, I started with that today. I said a few of them.
Yeah. So in your case, because you deliver speeches like at the top of your head, you need to take the other approach to memorize your speech.
Memorize it. Yes.
So
I need to write it down. Then memorize.
So that when you practice enough memorizing, you naturally, that means your style will converge in the middle, so that you could string this or string this at any time. But frankly, this will take a few years. It's not easy.
It's gonna take a long time for me to break that right.
Um,
That word right.
I heard some writers or some speakers, they do not really write every single word of the speech.
Yes,
though.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's really different from person to person.
So as I mentioned, there was this question. Most of the so 2000 and so Jim Key 2003, Dhananjaya, was it Ryan Avery and a few people that they have posted their speeches online. They write their speech. In fact, they put their positioning as well. So what they do at what time, So I like that. So that's why maybe I'm drawn to this. But I think for contest speech, you want to be a little bit more deliberate. Meaning really exactly at what time do what.
I think for me, if I don't write it down, I will say a lot of filler words.
Yeah.
I can't stop it. I can't. I had like 4 or 5 speech now.
That's the wrong vocab.
Okay.
Never say can't.
If I start memorizing, I think I could get rid of it.
Change your mindset, change your life.
Yes, mindset change, challenge yourself. But when you start, it's very difficult. So what you can do is, the first thing is with technology, just sit in front of the camera or in front of your phone, put it on a tripod, ask your wife to shoot you, and then view yourself again. And you will find that there are so many bad habits that we have. So many.
I'm so scared to look at my video.
I know.
Now.
Tell me about it.
Actually.
In fact, I hate my own voice. My voice sucks.
2 years ago, I don't like my voice. And then I went to a section with another Toastmaster about voice. And after that, I thought, like you, change your mindset. Why do you need to dislike your voice? It's your voice. Come on.
Yeah, I know. But there's a speech coach type of coaches where, it's just like a singing coach. You have to speak from your diaphragm, so that this is where you can produce the rich low tone, which is it has the psychology of making you hypnotize. So low pitch voice is way better than high pitch voice. That's why all the commercials is always male and then very low pitches. That's the reason.
Tonight we have a speaker who just spoke earlier. He has an amazing voice.
Yeah, the Kitaraj, right? Yeah, I think so. Like, low deep voice.
You guys serve food in the venue. We cannot serve food in Hong Kong Toast because we are in a hotel. I miss that snacking time.
I know.
Last time they had samosas.
Last time Hong Kong Toastmasters has sandwiches and then bananas. I remember. That was a long time ago.
2 years ago, at least.
Karuna. Choi, are you speaking?
Unmute.
I can't hear you.
Unmute. You have to unmute. Can you unmute? Is time up?
Yes, time up.
You're still on mute.
Yeah,
Both
you guys need to unmute.
Podium and Hong Kong Center, you are on mute.
Okay, now
yes, I'm back. I don't like to be muted. I was waiting. Yes, we're going to the final part of our evening, which is the evaluations. So each evaluation has to be 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes green, 2.5 minutes yellow, and 3 is red. So may I invite the first evaluator, Tanvi, who's in India and from the Deacon Toastmaster Club, to evaluate Speaker Wong Karuna Karan. The floor is yours, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. So today's theme of the meeting is to challenge yourself. And Toastmaster Karuna delivered a speech in which he talked about a challenge that he overcame and how. The first thing I loved as soon as he entered the stage, when he came upon the podium, was the amount of energy and grace that he brought right into the beginning of the meeting by asking a few questions, by getting us all engaged. He even asked us if we remembered the first speech that he had delivered as part of this project. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but I do wish I was, because it was such an informative speech, and yet it was presented in such an interesting way. For someone like me who does not feel interested in business and funds and investments, you still had me hooked. So kudos on that. First, your energetic opening and the wonderful, the strong body language and the usage of the words was so point on when you said you can't put your finger on it. The idiomatic usage of language, beautifully done there. And I must also congratulate you on a very clear message which came through across with every point that you were making. I knew what message you wanted to give, and you had a call for action at the end. So all these 3 points beautifully done. Now, how can you transcend yourself and become an even more effective speaker? The first recommendation for you would be that the title was a bit of a mouthful. So if I start reading it here, I'm going to run right out of time. So I will just, I would like to recommend that the title of any speech should be like the headline of a newspaper. It gives you the basic idea of what you're going to say without giving too much away. So for a layman, perhaps HKSAR and all these abbreviations and the humongous title would be very difficult to remember or to understand. So that would be one recommendation for you. And the second recommendation I have is that the conclusion felt a little abrupt. So you started off on such a high, you gave us 3 separate instances that made you realize your about the investment stance that you had to take. And then you talked about the gains that you had in 3 clear points. I wish you had reiterated them again towards the end so that they would be more firmly driven home in my mind and more memorable to me. So overall, I think you did a fantastic job with an energetic opening, the excellent language usage, a clear message that came through across the speech, and finally, just a little more work on a crisp and concise title and a more well-rounded conclusion that sums up your point in just a few words would have made it an amazingly phenomenal speech. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Tanvi. I would like to invite Michael, who is our area director, to give his evaluation of the second speaker, Eddie Wong. Over to Michael.
Michael, you need to stand there at the podium at the right bar. Yes, this point.
Hi, thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you so much for your speech tonight. It's very uplifting, very enjoyable, and you also meet your project objective. It's helping us to understand your leadership skills that can be summarized as democratic and your coaching style. I think everybody can get that. And finally, you also show that how your leadership skill has impact positively to the people around you. So that's wonderful. Today, I will have an opportunity to share with you some of your strength in your speech. And also we have an opportunity to provide maybe some suggestions for you to consider so that in the future, you can maybe improve your speech and even better, and to transcend your speaking ability to the next level. First, your voice, your energy, and your way to engage with the audience is just phenomenal. That is just wonderful. At the first start, we all absorb and get attention to your speech. That's great. And second is about your organization. You clearly have your speech organized as opening, a body, also a very strong closing, because you call for actions, right? Try to use that and apply that in the club. And for your body, you also use very well the power of three, because when you describe how you help your colleagues, use three examples to talk about how you help that people to embrace his changes and how he improves. So this is great. A few areas I would suggest you to think about and consider in the future. First is about the way you describe the story of your colleagues. I think you use the structure very well. I think every business people use that very often. That is the problem, the action, and the results, PAR. I think that is wonderful. A very good example of using this structure to tell a story. But one thing I would like to challenge you for today's film is, it's just kind of going back to what Coen just mentioned to us. When you talk about a story, don't just talk about the positives. Can you talk about something struggle? So if you can somehow, when you describe the story of how you're helping your colleagues, but if you can talk about some struggle along the process, and then how you guys work together to overcome that, that gets you the climax of the story, and that will make the story even more engaging. Another suggestion I would like to offer to you is, when you talk about the Netflix story, think about less is more. Because I think we want to focus on your story and your story with your colleagues. So if you can try to simplify the story about the Netflix person, hosting, that's his name, just to trim that part a little bit down, maybe just use a quote from that person and use that quote to further reinforce your story. I think that's good enough. Because if you go too deep into that story, it's going to distract the audience from your story, which is actually the cornerstone of your speech. So in summary, your speech is really good, well structured, and your delivery skill is wonderful. And if you can consider to kind of focus on your story points and also tries to make your story a little bit more dramatic, that will take your speech to the next level. So thank you so much, Eddie. Great speech. I look forward to your future speeches. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael, for this evaluation. Over to Keir Tirash, who is evaluating Coen. And Keir Tirash is from Toastmasters for Entrepreneurs and Anime Toastmaster Club. Over to you, Keir Tirash.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Could someone please share the timer card?
Look at Bernard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna reset. Okay, I'm gonna reset. Okay, good. Start.
Yes. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you, dear district stage. How to actually ace a winning speech, how to craft a winning speech. That was all about Distinguished Toastmaster Coen's speech today. How many of you went on a joyride with this music? Same was the effect of Distinguished Toastmaster Coen today, who took us and hooked us throughout his speech. Kudos to you. And I can see him smiling and laughing out like anything. I believe that is how, through the way he told about the goal, obstacle, adventures, lessons, and success, that is how we can actually go ahead and craft a speech which people would remember. And not just that, he also emphasized on key areas like knowing, feeling, and action. that was the icing on the cake of his speech today. I personally felt that it was a marvelous and well-structured speech and had great learning lessons for all of us. How many of you believe this? I see all the Toastmasters doing thumbs up. I believe that his speech and his presentation has the power to transcend us from a normal Toastmaster to an accomplished Toastmaster. And that is where I would like to give back to DTM Coen. DTM Coen, with all things said and done, there's an angel and there's an evil. So let me wear the hat of the evil right now, who would in turn be an angel in your upcoming speeches. DTM Coen, I saw that there was a little bit of monotony in your speech. Maybe you could have emphasized when you said anchored, deep, strong NLP method. That's how people would have resonated to those important words, and it would have created a better impact. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. That shows that the speaker has an open mindset. Second, the speaker may challenge himself by bringing up some more audience engagement during the speech. Say, for example, usage of some props or just asking, TM Sanaya, are you happy right now? And then she's now smiling. That's how you can engage with the audience. You had great lineup. Your speech content was amazing. And I personally loved the question and answer round where you thanked the audience for asking the question. In summation, you had great humor, well-structured, amazing delivery and eye contact. Just use these tips and tricks and you will become another accomplished speaker. Thank you. And over to the dear evaluator.
Very much, Tiraj. Now we're going over to the table topics evaluation that is done today by Sanaya Parker, who's in Dubai, and she's the VP Education of Star of Arabia Toastmasters. I'm giving Sanaya for now.
Can I please be spotlighted instead of evaluator Kirtiraj?
Please wait.
In the meantime, I would also like to say that the evaluation length is a little different. Topics is 7 minutes, 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red.
You are spotlighted, right?
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Choi. Good evening to all Toastmasters, and a special good evening to our table topic master, TM Bharat. Now, I must say that the table topic session was very well done by our TM Bharat. But there are a few things that I have to point out, and I will be evaluating the entire session. That is, including the start of the meeting. Toastmaster Bharat came at the start of the meeting and started talking about the changes in the table topics. He started off saying that I want everyone to pick up 4 words and either WhatsApp or put it on the chat. And that way I will pick up different speakers. Toastmaster Bharat, I would suggest that you please do not do this, as it changes the meaning of table topics. Now, table topics is meant to put speakers on the spot. You give them the topic and they're on the spot supposed to think and deliver. When you give it to them beforehand, whether it's the start of the speech or before the meeting starts, it kind of changes things. The meaning of table topic itself is lost. Second thing I suggest, you said that you wouldn't be taking volunteers. Another thing I suggest that you don't do, because you're supposed to take volunteers and put them on the spot. So first you ask, are there any volunteers? Second, if there are no volunteers, you pick up the guests because the guests haven't spoken at all. Third, if guests are not there, then you have the outsider Toastmasters who have not spoken. Fourth are members who have not taken up any roles. You are giving them a chance to speak. And then last, anyone who's spoken less, like your word master role, word master, your counter, your grammarian, all these people should also be given a chance to speak. Also, I really like the way that you showed the rules for the Toastmasters, for the table topic session. But I need to point out that those have to be shown during the table topic session and not before the meeting started. It would also have been nice if you had read the rules out for the benefit of any guests or outside Toastmasters who do not know the rules of table topics. Now, when the table topic session started, I would suggest the TMOD Choi, that you explained what are the timings of the the table topic session. I suggest you let the table topics master do that. I also suggest that before you start the session, please include greetings like, good evening, Toastmasters, good evening, guests, as well as Toastmasters, or something like that, to show that you're starting the table topic session with such enthusiasm. Now, since you had given the topic beforehand, you had also asked, please mention on the chat or WhatsApp. I suggest you don't do that, as again, there was a lot of confusion as people weren't understanding how the topics were given. And there's again some sort of disconnect. That's the reason why you hadn't gotten much response as to who wants to speak. Now you started the table topic session in a good way. You give an example of a dentist. So people were getting a hang of what you're trying to do exactly. You picked up speakers from the Zoom call instead of also people from your meeting as well. So I would have liked if there was a bit of mix in that. I will now start evaluating the speakers. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Coen. Your topic was monetize your social media. Your start was amazing. It caught my attention like this. And it was a very unique way of letting someone connect with you. You had asked Toastmaster Eddie about his opinion. But do remember, you have only 2 minutes to speak. And this part could be a double-edged sword for you. I like your voice modulation and I loved your gestures. It was a very good attempt. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Kirti Raj. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Your topic was start a business without a capital. Your start was a bang on. I really like the emphasis you put on the words. But because you were starting out slow, it felt like you were singing your topic. And I'm saying this, I'm actually emphasizing on this, is because your evaluation was also so good that I could see the difference. Again, asking for opinion from the audience, very good, but it's a double-edged sword as you have only 2 minutes. I like your story. And because you started slow, your ending was very rushed. So please, plan the way you talk. I know it's a table topic, so you're not given much time to talk. But when you realize your time is ending, stop or close it at that point. Don't rush. You lose your audience there. Speaker number 3, Toastmaster Eddie. Participate in a club contest. I did not understand when exactly you started your speech. So it would have been a good way if you had started with a pause, like after your conversation with the table topics master. And in the middle, you had gotten a bit off topic, I felt. When you started talking about your wife, it was a good story. I don't disagree. I like the way you added the humor. I like the way you had a personal touch, but it felt a bit off from the topic. Speaker number 4, Alex, Toastmaster Alex, plan employee retention. You asked the participation of the audience twice. And I must say, again, it's a double-edged sword because you have only 2 minutes. I like your emphasis, the way you were emphasizing on words. But in the middle, I felt that you were a bit nervous. That's why you were stuttering a bit. But you managed to catch up quickly. So it was not very noticeable, but it was slightly noticeable. As for the back to the table topics master, you have managed to achieve the objective of your motivational strategy, level 2, active listening. Your objective was to demonstrate your ability to listen. And you did it. I found that you had very good connection with the first speaker, which was Toastmaster Coen, and the second speaker, Toastmaster Kirti Raj. You were actually talking about what they spoke. But with the third speaker and fourth speaker, which is Toastmaster Eddie and Toastmaster Alex, it was slightly weak. I would have appreciated if you had shown the same enthusiasm towards them. I also like the fact that you paid attention to the start of the meet and used the word of the day, transcend. That was really good attempt. And I would have really liked if you had thanked each participant for participating in the table topic session, because it takes a lot of courage to come up on stage, get the topic, think about it, and just start rambling. It is much harder than a speech after all, because in a speech, people get to prepare, while in table topics, people don't. You had said that, it was really that sad that people didn't text or chat so that you could pick them up to speak. But you did not notice one point. You had asked a question in the end and people were responding, generally in the audience. So that is actually a good point to point out. I really like the way you had also set the topics, which were short and sweet. Toastmaster Bharat, your attempt in table topics and your objective, your speech was well met. And all the best for your future attempts in your path. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much, Sanaya. I would like to ask, thank you. Let's ask Timer Bernard to share the timing of everyone. Evaluators, Tanvi.
Yes, Tanvi, time is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Within time.
Michael?
Michael is 4 minutes and 9 seconds, not within time. Kitraj, 3 minutes and 16 seconds within time.
Sanaya?
8 minutes and 15 seconds, not within time.
Thank you very much. We are now going to vote for the best speaker, evaluator, and table topic speaker. And you can write the names on the paper here. So distinguished Toastmaster Coen will have a poll online.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, here.
No.
Yeah. So everyone has 3 names, please. Okay.
The poll on Zoom is now open.
You
Yes.
can do on the Zoom.
Yeah.
You can do on the
All you
Zoom.
can do is, environmental.
Well, this is ongoing. I would like to invite the facilitators to report to us. So if anyone is ready, our counter, timer, grammarian, and the general evaluator, I would like to give the floor to one of them so they can give us their reports.
Who is doing the on the floor poll? I will send the online poll to this person. Is it Karuna?
You can give it to.
Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
Karuna. Yes.
All right. I'll WhatsApp you. Okay. Has the people? I think everyone has voted online. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, I shall now end the poll and send the results to Karun.
Bottom part.
Huh?
Just the bottom. Yeah, this is the balance.
I think Michael is not ready. Michael, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I would like to invite you to the grammarian report. Almost right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. It's my pleasure to give my grammarian report. So first up, let's talk about the use of the word of the day, transcend. Let's give a shout out to Choi Yuk, our Toastmaster of the day, and also Tanvi for using the word transcend. And secondly, I would like to give a shout out to Bharat and also to Kirtiraj and for using the word transcend as well. So good job, everybody. And for the use of the word today for the grammarian report, I would say that for today, I think everybody used the word and also the expression very well. Just a few things I'd like to highlight is when we try to use the word, sometimes we use the same word repetitively within our speech. And for some of our speakers, they use a similar words, but different words to illustrate, the meaning, like cumbersome, tedious, difficult. So we encourage everybody to use the variety of words as a choice of word in your speech. And secondly, I would also like to show appreciation of people using a lot of good expressions, like the contrast. For example, like the power of minds against the power of arms. So the parallelism, also the contrast, very good use of expression. Another thing I want to do is, in addition to the contrast, some speakers also use the increase in the intensity of the words. For example, like when people give you a smile, people is going to remember you. But if you make people cry, people will never forget you. So using a parallelism, also increasing in intensity of the words, is a very good use of the expression. And finally, I also like to say the kudos to people using the rhyme in their speech. For example, I've heard people say, "Think on your feet, go craft a speech." So the feet and also the speech kind of rhyme in the statement. I think that's also very good to get people's attention and also make it very remarkable and memorable to the audience. So that's all my grammarian's report. Now I turn it back to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Michael. I would like to invite Stella for the accountant's report. Over to Stella.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So this is my first time I take up the role, so I don't know exactly what I have to do. But I think when I during listening, counting the R, so I realized that there's an art of listening that I learned because everyone speaks in different way, and then they also have different feeling, expression, maybe smiling, and so when during the counting, so when I hear the R. So that kind is like a connection because maybe I'm the speaker, I also have the same R. So actually there's no perfect, but imperfect is the perfect way that when we speak with the R. So I think anything I say who have the R actually is a natural expression. So I had kind of speaker for Karuna. So he had around 7 times of R. But I feel that is a natural way to express because we all, when we speak, we also have that kinds of happening. And it's also is like a pause to connect with the people. And for speaker Eddie, and he didn't have R, but I have realized that he had got some pattern like, right? That is, I think, his style. So I think it's that we all know him very well. And he have this kind of pattern. So I think that is a way of his expression. And for the third speaker, Coen, right? Sorry, maybe I pronounced it wrong. Coen, okay. So I counted around 3 times, but I feel very natural way that when he express. So, and then for the table topics, and most of the speaker, I didn't hear the R. So thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stella. Yes, I would like, the timer's report, we already did that, so I would like to invite Alex to give her general evaluation of this evening. Over to Alex.
Thank you, Joy. May I paint with the timer because time is today's key word as well. So I want to end on time, hopefully, if that means 6 minutes. All right, as the evaluator, general evaluator, I will just go straight to tonight. What I'm going to evaluate is facilitators and the evaluators plus
the overall meetings. So the overall meeting, I really like the way the warming welcome pre-meeting. So it did a great job. This is my second time joining this one, and I experienced this one. Chit-chatting with the guests, so it's really like making us that feel I'm belonging to this group. So great job on this one. Overall, worked very hard on inviting guests from all over the world. So I really see a great quality of tonight's meeting. And now I'm going to move on to the president. President, you got two roles today. First one is the opening remark and the speaker's role. So first, the opening remark. As the president of the club, you got the fantastic voice. Only one thing is you might want to craft a little message for each meeting to open the meeting officially by you before passing it to the MC. So that it make it more impactful. I am the person, the president of the club. You could consider to do a special opening each time for the meeting. And that your voice is magnificent. So I really like it. I very draw everyone's attention. Then I will move to Choi. Choi, you know the agenda inside out. The way you presented to us about what you're going to expect in the meeting, so we know exactly what's going to be in the meeting. Only one thing is because you are you are doing a hybrid meeting, besides the audience on the floor in the room with you together, when you are standing in front of the camera, you might also want to look at the camera a little bit. So we are online, we can see hi everyone, something like this one. So this way, then we know that you are also connected with us. And one more suggestion is after the prepared speeches, you might want to consider write up one or two your personal echo to them before moving on to the next speaker. Then can see that, oh, you pay attention listening to the speaker. That is something take away for you and like as the audience as well. I know being a TNE, sometimes we just juggle with all these errands for our meeting, sometimes difficult. But as time go by, you might pick up these skills. Next one, I will move on to Stella. Well done. That's the first time timer. So you did a great job on the, well done for that. You did a great job on the report. One minor thing, if the members can support her before the meeting, tell her what she is going to do, like a role taker cheat sheet to share with her, so she could understand a bit more and prepare before the meeting. That would be excellent. Otherwise, the report, excellent. The timer, Bernard, the timer, you tried to strike for your role, given you got multiple screens in front of you. Great job on that. Only because the timer role is not too well functioned in part of the meeting. That's why we are kind of delayed. And also, if you are really knowing someone is way overrun, please give signal. Don't try not to be too timid on that. Really, ding, 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 ding. That signal, you can't give it in the contest, but you are allowed to give in the club meetings. Don't spare on that. You are the controller of the meeting. Don't let the other people drive your role away. And next one, grammarian. Grammarian, I really like the way you gave the comprehensive introduction and also the report. This is the first time, honestly, I see a grammarian in this way to using really repeating words, good expression, contrast, parallel, rhythm. I have to contact you offline to learn how to really do grammarian role. I don't like this role. And you really try me in this role. Great job on this one. No one would like to take grammarian in your club anymore. Give her too much pressure. All right, as now I got short time to cover evaluators. I would just give very short and concise evaluation. All evaluators tonight, they did a tremendous, marvelous jobs. If you notice, Tempe, she uses appraise, improve, and conclusion. So very well structured. And Michael, also he insert summary, suggestion, improve, and end with a conclusion. A little bit different with the structure, but similar. And Kataraj, what else can I say about your voice? Magnificent, like a magnet, attracting up everyone. Apart the structure you use for the evaluation. One thing is towards your conclusion, you might want to. You were talking back to about Coen's one, and with you end with the praise again, but you are looking forward to the praising at the end really bring up, wow, he did a great job already, how he can improve more. So that's a great job. And Sanaya, giving evaluator only have 5 minutes, but you have 5 people to evaluate. The time focus on Bharat, you spend about at least 3 minutes or so. So you might want to balance the whole sections. Like once you talk about Bharat, drop him, and don't go back to the end again to talk about him again. Otherwise, it's going to be, you're going to the whole throw from beginning to the end. It would too much to cover. So that is something, my suggestion for you is by persons instead by timeline. Otherwise, everyone, great job for tonight's meeting. I enjoyed so much, and this is one of the only online club I would like to join again. Back to you, Troy.
Thank you very much, Alex. I will make sure that I will look into the camera. Distinguished Toastmaster Coen, do you still need the time to explain the club business contest rules?
Yes, if we have time. President, may I?
Yes, please, please.
All right, as we have shared and Bharat has shared, it is contest time. So we are having a contest in about a month's time on the 24th of November. So what can we do? How can we prepare ourselves to meet this challenge? Yes, I use the word challenge. Is that first thing you should do is to go download this. If you can see the title of this document is called Toastmasters. You can search for Toastmasters Speech Contest Rulebook, the 2021 to 2022 version. And this was the world champion last year. Okay. Now, one thing very good is eligibility. If you scroll through the rules, so point number 2, it says that you have to complete 6 projects and so on and so forth. However, a charter member of a club chartered less than 1 year before the contest is permitted to complete. So that means all our members, I am so happy and delighted to know that because of this rule, all of us are eligible to take part in the contest. Now, there are 4 contest types in the district: international speech in English, evaluation in English, table topics in English, and a Mandarin contest. Okay. Now, the rule goes like this. If the club wishes to hold a contest, all right, even if there is 1 speaker, we should hold a contest. However, the club may dispense with holding a contest for that contest type by nominating maximum up to 2 contestants from the club without competing into the area. So I strongly suggest that our members take part in at least the 3 English contests: international speech, table topics, and evaluation. Now, I've already signed up for all 4. I put in the chat, so challenging myself. I highly encourage all of us to take part. Now, why is taking part very important? Share a personal story with you. When I joined Toastmasters, I was very shy. I can't speak. So my first 10 projects, I spoke in my club, and every time I speak a project, let's say for example, project 1, I will find another club to redo the project in another club, okay? Giving myself more chance to improve my own speech. However, the best opportunity to improve in public speaking is contest, because you are forced to write your speech. You are forced to be aware of your body language. You are forced to use your voice, your eye contact, and all kinds of body language devices and tricks that you can use in order to win the contest. Now, our district has decided that this year's contest is physical. So for our club, we can decide whether it's physical or Zoom or hybrid. It's up to the club to decide, the exco to decide. However, once we reach the area level, it will be a live person contest. Therefore, as I mentioned, those of you who will need some help in body language in front of a big stage, let me know. I can help you with this. So free advice to all our club members. All right. Okay. So these are the rules. There are a couple of things to take note of, especially eligibility. We are done. One thing is that one of the rules is that, okay, I just know the rules by itself, so I'll not share now, is that when you should not have, the speech should be substantially your own. Therefore, if you sing a song, right, that means it's copyright. You should not use a speech that is more than 25%. So any quote that you use should not be more than 25% of your speech. For example, if your speech is a 5 minute, okay, if you sing a song, it should not be more than a minute. All right. So please take note of that. Otherwise, the speeches are the same as in the club. So the more speeches that you have done, for example, Eddie, Choi, Nerys, and everybody else, Karuna who's given a speech, okay, stands at a little bit better chance because they have chance to practice. Okay, Toastmasters, public speaking is like a physical exercise. The more you train your mind, the more you train your muscles and everything, all right, the better you get. All right, so that's all I have today. Please, if you want to take part in the contest, please let Bharat, the VPE, know. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Coen. Now time to announce the winners. President Eddie, are you ready to announce it, or would you like me to do it?
Yes, why? I think you have the result also, right?
So Karuna can announce.
Oh, Karuna can announce. That's a good tie. Over to Karuna. And,
Yes.
And the mic is
Mike,
disappeared.
my voice is loud enough. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the best speaker goes to drum roll. Coen with 8
Yay!
And the best evaluator goes to drum roll.
Yeah.
With 8 votes. And the table topic is a tie. So we're going to call on our president, Eddie, to tell us how to break the tie. So we have a tie between Coen and Alex with 3 votes each. So give it to Eddie to break the tie here.
So the vote will go over to Alex since Coen already won a speech and he done a really good job. Yes.
Okay. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Choi.
Thank you, Karuna. We'll be very short because I'm giving the floor now to Eddie for the closing words.
Hello?
Hello. I guess that the kids of Eddie are not.
Wait, sorry about that. Yes, I got distracted for a second.
You want to switch on your video? Switch on your video.
It's really dark in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get out of the room. My kids is going to sleep. So thank you all for coming to the meeting today. You know, we all definitely all challenge ourselves. Coen gave such a good speech to provide us information for us to join the contest. So that's a good motivator for everybody to join the contest. So speak to Bharat and challenge yourself and transcend to the next level of Toastmaster. So thank you so much. So we're going to end the meeting today. Thank you for all joining us, and we will end the meeting now. Thank you.